What's up, y'all? Flash Speaks back for another video. Let me turn that off before they strike me. You know what I mean? It's that Michael Jackson right there. You know what I mean? King of pop, little something. But anyway, man. Today we had a heck of a game. You know, besides Fever getting dog walked. We had a significant game between two teams that are real contenders. The Phoenix Mercury, led by Alyssa Thomas, and the Minnesota Lynx. And for my money, these two teams are led by, the players who I think should be 1 and 2 in MVP voting right now so far. I think most people's favorites this season, without a doubt, is Napheesa Collier. Boasting the best record in the league. I think they were 17-2 before today. You know, that's excellent. I mean, that type of winning percentage, I mean, it speaks for itself. And then the player who has been my MVP over the last, I would say, close to a month or so was Camp Hill's Alyssa Thomas. My argument has been pretty much all year that you're talking about the Phoenix Mercury, which were around about a 500 team last year, a little bit sub 500. With Diana Taurasi's farewell year, first year Collier Copper there and so on, and Brittany Griner's last year there as well. Was not a good team last year. It kind of fell off. And Alyssa Thomas, man, bringing her in and a couple other players they brought in have really breathed life into that team. And my argument was, or I was more so impressed with Alyssa Thomas taking that team to the record they had. Though they didn't win, they don't have the same record as the Lynx. Lynx's record is a little better, but Phoenix record is right up there, And my thing was to do that without the continuity that Minnesota had. Like Minnesota, it's no surprise because, they were a great team last year. They made it to the finals, only to come up short to New York. But you figure they brought back pretty much the same roster, so you figured they would get hit the ground running, and they did. As most people predicted. But Phoenix for the Mercury, I think, is a surprise for most people, man. Coming into the season, I did pick them to make the playoffs because I just couldn't see a scenario where, you got Collier Copper, Alyssa Thomas, Satu Sabali, and they don't make it, So I kind of had them making it, but I didn't know it would be this quick and easy turnaround, especially the way Alyssa Thomas did it. She had to do much of it without Collier Copper, And then these last couple of games, I believe today, there was no Collier Copper and no Satu Sabali. Alyssa Thomas went out there, man. Went head up with against her counterpart, who's in the running, probably the lead for the MVP, and it dropped 29 on him, man. And she's not even a scorer. 29, 8 rebounds. Did her thing with the assists, might have been 6 or 7 if I remember correctly. Outplayed her, man, and was able to beat the Minnesota Lynx. That is impressive to me, and for that reason, that jumps AT right now to number 1 MVP slot for me, and I can't imagine how it doesn't for any others. I mean, because sometimes I know in the NFL it was like that in 2022. Jalen Hurts was like in the top spot for the MVP voting, and he and Patrick Mahomes were kind of close, and it kind of came down to like just moments in games, or which guy would have a bigger game coming down to the end of the season. And what killed it for Hurts was he got injured in the game against Chicago in like a week 13, missed a couple games, whereas Mahomes kept playing and the Chiefs kept winning, so he kind of won it for that reason. So, I mean, they also factor those types of things. They factor in the head-to-head matchups, and right here, that's impressive. Alyssa Thomas to go do that, man. To beat the Lynx like that while scoring 29 points, which is actually unusual for her. She's definitely leapfrogged her to me right now, and that unless Phoenix kind of collapses, and unless like Napheesa Collier just does some amazing stuff, to outdo what Alyssa has done, I don't think she should be MVP. I think it should be Alyssa Thomas. I don't know, but tell me what y'all think.